Children, what happens to them when parents are abandoned? We're going to cover this because children are my favorite subject, and I know what's happened to my own kids. And it's very sad. It's very hard. I worked with so many disabled children because that's my specialty, is kids with disabilities. Dr. Jackie really loves kids. I really, really love kids. I just wish when children were born, or actually I wish in high school, we got a course in raising children, because I remember that there was a time when they had an artificial baby that girls would have to take home. I think it was only girls. I'm pretty sure that's true. And it would cry if you didn't feed it and if you didn't change the diapers and all of that. I think that's a fantastic idea, because children who are abandoned are really a mess. My first child was a result of a rape, and the man nothing was ever done. He was 18, 19, somewhere in there. And he admitted it, but nobody did anything. They made the decision not to do anything. Where we were in a military base, and it was a military man's son. And my parents took him immediately. And he resents me horribly. I mean, I just can't believe how badly he resents me. But when I remember my childhood, and neighbors telling me that he was beaten in the same way that I was beaten, but he denies it entirely. So who knows? Who knows? All we know is the end result is tragic. My second child, a girl, my only girl, was born and had a heart attack at 4.5 months. I did work off and on, but I was as a waitress. But when she was about 6 months old, her father abandoned us. I was out for shopping one day and came back to discover that all of her diapers, all of her food, all of her clothes, everything was gone. He just took it. It was so weird, and I couldn't figure it out. But then I finally found out. He married me to avoid the draft. He wanted to have a child. And he never saw her. She has no memory of him at all. And now she's, at age 60, she's stopped interacting with me, which is so weird because we were always unbelievably close. I mean, I still think about her all the time, but I understand. She's a very strong, staunch Republican, and I'm a very strong, staunch Democrat. Green Party would be better for me, but it's just a wash. Part of my problem, of course, is that implies is that I'm an unbelievable advocate for the climate. I mean, it's all I've talked about really since 1962 when Silent Spring came out. So it's really a hardship with a lot of people, not just with my daughter, but I mean lots of people have no understanding, no comprehension. My bibbies are guaranteed for life. That's an expression. This shirt, I've checked all over, and it's the best you can buy in a long sleeves t-shirt. Those kinds of things are really important to me. Remodeling things, everything buying secondhand that you possibly can. All these kinds of things are an expression. Gosh, look how beautiful it is. Look at those incredible mountains over there in the early dawn after a light rain. Isn't that just magnificent? I hope you can see it as well as I can. It's so beautiful. And so that's a problem. I haven't eaten meat since 1974. That's a problem. All of these things come together in a way that makes it really difficult, because if a child has been away from the parent for any period of time in those first 3 years, it makes it very difficult for them to feel really connected to the ideals of the parent, and they feel abandoned. They feel like the job was more important. When the fact is, how do you feed the child if you don't have any income? I mean, really. You sure can't get a lawyer and make him pay you child support and his parents help or whatever if you don't have a job and don't have money. So all of these things, I think, would be so incredibly valuable. We used to have domestic courses, life planning courses where you would learn about cooking and sewing and that sort of thing. Well, why can't we talk about why not to get married until you're 24 or 25? I mean, those things would be so incredibly valuable to share with young people so they really had an understanding of what's going on in the world, how things come together. My last child was born with a mental illness that was real difficult, bipolar disorder. He also has chronic depression and severe depression, and I was with him. I was with him a lot, and yet the effects of a mental disorder are just devastating to a parent. So as I worked with my students in the special education classes, well, first, let me explain first. When I was a teenager, I used to write to people in prison. I would send the mail to an address, and they would forward it and back to me. And in every single case, there was an absent family. Somebody was off, or mom and dad were both off working, and somebody else was caring for the child. When I was in my 30s and 40s, I was visiting first-time offenders, 16 to 19-year-olds in a first-time offender prison, young boys. Same exact thing. Many of them were raised by grandparents. They had absent parents, parents in prison, parents with drug and alcohol abuse. I knew a woman for some time, who actually had been left in a crib for 2 or 3 days at a time without food, without clean diapers. I have never in my life encountered a person who was so completely absent from reality. I mean, she was really absent from reality. She was going to all kinds of different therapists. She had care all the time. She had online care. She was just, we're, as Gabor Mate talks about, we are pack animals. We're supposed to be nurtured. We're supposed to be loved. We're supposed to always feel like we're enough. When we don't feel like we're enough to have the attention of our parents, it just absolutely makes life miserable from then on, because we never really get over that. And the only way that I know to help a person like that is for them to meet with other people who've gone through the same thing and really talk about how it feels, and talk about each other with someone who is totally non-judgmental. Totally non-judgmental. That's the most important part. You have to feel like, because you're alive, because you've fought this far in life to make it to this point, you must be enough. Because life is complicated. It really can be very, very tough, unless you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, so they say. And that's why I have a SKOOL, a school. It's a online program. Mine's called Summerland, one word, SUMMERLAND, trauma caregivers. And the caregiver we want to be caring for first is ourselves, so then we can care for others. And the idea is to feel the essence of caring for yourself and have a real understanding how you care for yourself, and a way of protecting yourself from people who don't have your best interests, people who are gaslighters or bullies or that sort of thing. Oh, it just devastates people who've been left when they were children. I am very fortunate. My husband, his father abandoned him when he was about 2 or 3 years old. And he had strong, strong bonds with grandparents. Both sides of the family were there for him. And his mother was perfect. She was just totally devoted to him and his sister. So there's that sense of understanding the abandonment and at the same time understanding how we work as a unit with other people to overcome those feelings of being left, those feelings of being not good enough, of those feelings of not interesting enough, whatever it might be, not good enough looking or whatever, something was missing that didn't attract the parent. And oftentimes it was economic. And what really frightens me now is we're going into a period of higher inflation. We're going into a period when the money doesn't go as far. We have gone for some time into a period where raises didn't keep up with the cost of living in the United States. And I believe there's some of those same things going on in some other countries. And then we have some shipping problems, and we have wars, and we just have... There's so many things going on that make life so difficult that to come together and discuss how you really feel. Don't have your friends say, "How you doing today?" "I'm fine." No, this is about really looking at what's going on and how you're feeling and what can be done to make you feel more like you have the value that we know you have. Otherwise, you wouldn't be alive at this point. There has to be a reason for you to keep going and keep going and keep going. Maybe it's your child, maybe it's your friends, maybe it's your peers. It's so hard to guess. Career peers. There's something that keeps you going, but having something more that keeps you going. I will have an advertisement for my school at the end of this video. You can come if you'd like or not come. It's free. It is put on by a nonprofit, and if you give a donation, that's great, but it is free. So tell your friends. Thank you for being here today. You can always leave me a comment.